who's going to go into the multi-power region and maybe also to mention the Pufka.
All right, well, thank you very much, gents. It's time to head over to our commentary team once again. Moses and Pansy, take it away for our first game on Erangel.
Thank you, and we're home. We're finally back in the map that we all love to see, and it's always good. You get to know what you're getting into. You know where the teams are going when they switch things up. If anything's going to get flipped around, is there anything you're instantly looking at that's caught your attention?
I mean, at this stage, I don't know if these players have had a chance to scrim against one another. Oh no, not again, Tamil, not like this. Besiktas is just having horrible luck in the early game. That's just, I was just about to say, I'm not sure if these guys have had a chance to scrim against each other on Erangel. I didn't have a chance to ask the players if they were kind of set on their loot strategy. We did have a couple of ideas as to where people would be going, but you can already see that Toxic players have arrived in the center position between the north and south of Erangel, and it's just cost Besiktas a player who went for a Zarki split strategy. So that's going to be, man, that sucks. I was just about to say about a lot of these teams are very comfortable on this map, Besiktas being one of them. But they lose a player early. Not disaster, but not what you want.
Especially what we were seeing from that team in the last couple of games, we were kind of hoping this is their bounce back. This is their chance to really kind of pick up the pace where they'd had a couple of issues beforehand. It feels like this sort of start, again, is going to just kind of drill in the issues they were feeling before. So I don't know how well they're going to recover. Sauna Boys are off. They are going to the polar opposite of where the circle currently is. That came in, and it is very northern-sided. So they're going to have a journey. A lot of the teams, see, Millie Island team's going to have an issue. Not a huge issue, but it's a longer way in. And look how dense the pack of players are, especially around School, Roshok sort of area.
Well, it is kind of it is an issue, really. I mean, the Primorsk path is a little easier, I would think. Well, actually, really, all the southern-based teams, for even Razor Edge as well on the military island, you have to go a long way north, and the wrapping strategy coming in this map is only possible, or at least easier, on the eastern side. So coming around that Milta region or up the right-hand side pass, yes, Nile will likely be the case for Razor Edge or Sauna Boys, unless they try and get up that left-hand side through George, but there's 3 teams there. This first match is going to be, I think, a feeling-out period for a lot of these guys on Erangel, and again, for Odense, they're in Severny, they're sitting pretty for now.
Yeah, they'll be loving this. You can't get much better than that. And they're pretty much spread as well. You've got one down towards shooting range. You have one off towards, I guess, the more industrial huts that have been beefed up, so they're going to get more loot out of that. I mean, you've got that whole area on lockdown, so you're not worried about where you're going to push to or where people can get. You're secure there for now. You do have a couple of teams not far off. Stalba has a team in it, or at least some of the team. There's a couple of them split around that area. But honestly, this is the perfect circle for them. This is their circle to really regain control of this. Now, beyond that, they were discussing who's going to take over Milta Power. Milta, for example, Mini Milta.
Kind of free still.
It is still free. We haven't seen someone really take that over yet. I guess, again, as you said, a lot of teams just feeling it out. Probably working out what's available, what's not. You don't want to try and switch things up on that first drop in this map. You want to be playing for consistency, and it seems like that's the case.
If I'm Sauna Boys, I want Milta Power. I mean, judging or based on the plane path, obviously, you want to have at least a couple of strategies. FaZe is really good at switching to their alternate loot strategies when the plane path doesn't filter their home in Milta Power. So if I'm Sauna Boys and I see Milta Power is free, I do that split, try and take that over. They will have some friends with Moonwolf in Milta proper, but that'll save them these really harsh rotations, especially if the circle initially goes north like it has this first game.
Squeaky could maybe get an engagement here. I'm not 100% sure. Laron's not far off from this. As I said, the teams who are up towards the north had their own ground, but potentially off the back of that drop, Squeaky, the drop hasn't been touched yet, but he's in a position maybe to get towards this. I'm not sure who's going to go for it, if anyone does yet. But this could be a little bit of a losing out on one of those players early. We do see those rotations starting now and getting towards where they need to be. M249, 3'd up, and a ghillie. Always nice.
The Desert Ghillie. And, of course, the all-important tactical stock, which is critical to the M249. My conspiracy theory, and the more I think about it, I think this is the case, that the tactical stock is just like the buffer to make sure that the crate isn't super OP. Like when you wind up with a 15x or an 8x or whatever, or maybe something what would we maybe would consider useful. You know, you can't have too many useful things in crates. You got to keep the tac stock in there, just in case. There's no gun that I can think of immediately that requires a tac stock in the crate. So, nope, there isn't.
Nope. Feels good. I mean, it's always nice when you find one. It's like a little like, oh, it's like when you find a Red Bull. You know, you're like, oh, That's all right, but it's not exactly like crate-worthy excitement.
Yeah, no doubt. I would rather there be a Red Bull in there than a tax talk.
I tend to agree. I tend to agree. Forza in the move, doubled up in the car, and they're not far off from a couple other teams. But this is going to be that kind of time where a lot of teams are driving past each other. We'll see if anyone does decide to engage. I'm sure you'll find out pretty soon. Only one man falling so far. That was at the very start, that pistol work coming out. And we are seeing the Method boys on the run, going past Ruins, heading over the bridge, potentially by Georgia Pulse on Georgia, the 4 squares of doom. They could run past it. There is already a team in front of them. 2 teams, Red Diamonds and Toxic, potentially going to gatekeep them. There could be issues there, and shooting range is littered with players. 2, 3, 4 teams over there. Others are trying to, I guess, condense towards the southern side. This could be deadly. They
came out of Severny kind of early, I would think, their loot phase being over. I wonder what they're trying to grab. Maybe the warehouse, that higher side, and they're going to have to battle for it. Accelerate Gaming is there. Forza arriving the shooting range, and the shooting range is going to be the focal point of these first couple of circles. We see this time and time again with these northern Severny area circles. And Andy's in the lead vehicle, and he's getting pressure from Sammy. The rest of Method coming in behind, and they're just going to start doing backflips. Who is in the air? That's Menix going massively up into the air there as Wick is going to land his Dacia flip. Andy's, I think, still moving around. So Method is going to avoid the withering fire of the Toxic player. And here comes Chris. He's late. He's going to go up too. He's like, you know what? I too want to do a Dacia trick. Quickly switched seats for some reason, just in case, and off you go. So Method, they have stopped.
Like now, I've got to say as well, Hayes in chat, shout out to you for giving a little bit of a tip of info. Besiktas and Toxic both got contested apparently in their scrims in North, and North Georgia was free, so maybe that's why they both went for that. So we're seeing a couple of teams
He's just making that up.
He is. He's lying with conviction. He's taking our jobs. We're the ones who meant to lie with conviction.
He's calling me toxic. He's making stuff up in the chat. Hayes is not to be trusted.
Oh, he's lovely. Don't you be mean to Hayes. Anyway, everyone is trying to grab their little bit of land, right? Their own bit of real estate. Method did make it away, even though there were 2 teams watching them. Red Diamonds and Toxic were over there. We do see the late arrivals. There's still a team on Millie Island, keep in mind. A lot of these teams did go quite early because they know there's not a lot of big amounts of hard cover. You're fighting for that prime cut of the meat.
M19, they've been quiet. I think they're feeling a little bit more comfortable here. I think we would expect to see a couple of split strategies here. Besiktas is going to actually do a split. I was watching how they were going to set this up. They've left Simsy in an all-important compound up by Severny. He's just kind of chilling up there. Yeah, it's the 2-building split. So they're kind of hedging their bets north and south, but they're so close to the coast it might. I mean, it doesn't matter. They're only playing with 3. It's their only real option. So trying to stay calm for them. But that center density really strong here, surprisingly so. A lot of teams just trying to make their way north, and for the guys down south, it is going to be Razor Edge arriving the latest, as the Sauna boys, who started in Primorsk, are going to go west and up through the center of the map, or just around the horn, I should say, of the Everest Mountain.
Did Reknok have any vehicles?
I think they did, but they...
Because they were over in school and apartments.
Yeah,
they've ditched it. If they did have it, and now they're kind of out in the open. It's a weird area to be in. It's not a bad area. There's not that many people too close by. I guess Moonwolf have 2 players down by the petrol station. M19 do have 1 down here, and they're coming over the bridge from Yaz, so they'll be around. But a lot of these teams can share this sort of space. But keep in mind, only 1 player has fallen so far. With all this kind of back and forth fighting, that M24 could come in wonderfully. You can see the trace of fire towards Shiv.
This is a good get.
Might have to be careful.
Good get for M19 in this compound. This is a pivotal spot to try and control. You're going to try and make sure that their vehicles don't get destroyed, however. Bringing them inside the compound. Joining in with Razor Edge, they are making their way off Military Island. Coming across the bridge. They're playing it safe, at least for now, as they are going to have a long distance. They're going to have to come in on the south and probably just park on the edge. I can't imagine that they want to get anywhere too far close to center. We'll see what this first shift does. The river is playing a feature, but it is likely out of the play zone unless there's an extreme shift, as that hill just outside of the northern transition point along the choke is lots of tricks happening. I want to see some backflips there, Sauna boys.
Front flip. Make it look cool.
Do a barrel roll.
Ooh, we might get one. Tiksu. Oh my. Tiksu! It's an action movie, and he is somehow the hero. He makes it out of there. Toxic are just watching this go by, kind of baffled how he didn't even really tag him up much. 1 shot, I think, came through for that.
You got to be ready. Got to be ready for those sweet flips. Oh, here comes another choice. another chance, I should say. Team review, trying to get through.
I have to do it every time you do this. It's
I don't know if the claps are coming through.
damn it. I hope so. Where are the Swanner boys off to, actually? They're going North Coast.
All the way north. Just
All
trying
right.
to crash into the north side. Try and hit up the coast. Simsy has been rejoined, and they're going to actually get a line onto Nookie, who might be forced into the ocean. Oh boy, this is not a good spot to be stopping. Lots of shots coming their way. Actually, at a pretty long distance. But this is unfortunate that they don't have a proper vehicle with them. If they had a Dacia or UAZ, they might be able to park it in like a T-shape, make a little fort. And we are going to see a shift. It's going to go a little bit further to the east. Severny's still in, and Besiktas likely going to make a play for Severny. But this is now looking good for Odense. They've done a lateral split from 2 separate compounds. They have control of the warehouse, I believe, as well. So this is looking good for them early.
I love this compound. And you know that that hill is the one place that people always just peek up from. I love playing out of this, and I'm so glad to see them playing well, but Method are going to move out. They took the fight, got the knock, and it's time to go because they know they've caught a couple of seconds to heal.
The Method compound they've just taken is, I think, the most strategically important and strategically difficult compound in the game to deal with. If you're Red oh, they're leaving it. Never mind, forget it. Damn it,
What
Andy.
was that point?
I was going to say, if they can hold it against Red Diamonds, it's very difficult for Red Diamonds to encroach on that compound, but they just gave it up instantly. So, whatever. I mean, it's not near the center, but they're transitioning early now. So I'm not sure if this is going to cost Method.
I don't know how early. Look how damaged Wick is. They could lose out on a play here. Moonwolf, they're great at catching these players on the cross. Zoom on the way as well. Lies could be getting a couple of shots, and when I say a couple, I mean a lot.
Oh, that's a lot of shots.
That really is. Zoom's going to be happy with that, finding that just on the go. There's so little space left here.
Wow, that's an unfortunate turn of events for Team Chargers. I understand why Method left, but oh man, there's another potential vehicle kill happening. Garbage Man is going to have to stop. Avoid any more fire coming in. Lots of vehicles in play here.
Yeah, Team Chargers are the one suffering. During this garbage round just got picked out of nowhere by Scoom. We are seeing Moonwolf being challenged as well, and he does make it into some tiny bit of cover. So still 16 teams up. 19 saw this garbage man bleeds out. I don't think he's going to be saved anytime soon. Moonwolf looking around, but they're under fire as well. Third partying just about everywhere here. Leveled one up out of his mind. Rezu's just like, he's about as, I guess, resilient as a paper bag at this point. He's trying to get somewhere with a bit of cover, and his teammate almost blocks him. He's good.
Wick's gone down. So Andy and the rest of Method have stopped. Wick has gone a little bit further up, and it looks like there's no help coming, and there's no way he's going to be able to res. So Wick is just going to be sad in his little shack here. He's made it, but he hasn't survived. Rip Wick. F's in the champ. Poor Wick. M19, this compound is now paying dividends. This grab, they're actually doing a north-south split is M19, and they've got decent control over 2 different spots. And that southern choke point is going to be playing a massive factor, as if we get another northern split, M19 will be able to do a lot of damage in teams in transition.
Can we just appreciate that Rice still in the blue?
They'll join the game when they're ready, okay? You know, they're just doing
like
their
flashbacks to TSM.
Yeah. They're doing their thing. They're doing the very, very, very delayed phase rotate, but they will make their way in, and then they'll do some things. Maybe shoot some mans or use all their meds in the blue.
I never thought I'd miss Sims' analysis, but after that,
they're going to shoot some mans. That's what you do in this game. You shoot the mans until there are no more mans, and then you go home afterwards. I'm a professional. Don't doubt me.
He gets paid for this. It's amazing.
Somehow I
isn't it?
continue to be high.
I know. Look, we're not going to question it. Wick finally bleeds out in his little cupboard of shame, and 19 players will be the people to claim that one. The rest of Method, again, in their little shame cupboards. Oh, it's 3 players in here after their strategic stronghold.
They've made their own sauna.
They have. Oh, that's adorable. Sid there, jump peeking towards potentially Rafi. I'm not sure if he's seen him. I'm not sure if the line of sight's even good enough for that. But Red Diamonds, they've been working their way around. They've been sneaking their way through.
They're getting up on the rear flank here of Reciprocity. They've got the triple story. Actually, I don't think there's anyone in the 3-story. Interesting choice there by Rec to kind of spread really far out from each other. They have Shiv on a way far out flank. I'm not sure what that's all about, but it's a kind of a 3-1. We've seen Avantgarde do this in the past, leaving Shiv out on a limb here. And again, it's a lateral split on the south side of the zone. I don't think it's for map control. So interesting choices here by Rec.
Yeah, I'm not sold, but I want to see how it goes. Everyone's kind of found their little bit of cover here. I don't see anyone potentially in a big fight yet. Red Diamonds could push up and find Rec, but that's about really it. Now this gets a little bit more fun.
This is good for M19.
Yeah, as you said, M19, if it does shift towards the eastern side, you highlighted this before, they get to catch and put pressure on so much.
I don't know if they're going to be able to rejoin each other. I mean, Elite Player, and I think that's Constantine, are in the center. But for the Wanderer and Example would be the fourth, I think they're going to have to maintain this split. Trying to transition back to their other team is going to be very difficult, but I think they might be mounting up in a vehicle, so we'll see what M19 can do here.
Also, the right guys have perfect circle position for now. I mean, Iro catching him on the way, catches out Lux, and again, bad luck seems to be plaguing this side, losing out on the first man to go down, and now one on transition, taking it out on the car. Iro takes that down.
Stupid car.
Damn it.
Got him.
The question is, do they lose anyone else? Simsy, about half HP. Ultra is leading the way. And the rest of the teams are finding, I guess, the positions they want to be in. There will be limited, it will be crunched. That hillside off the back of StarLadder could get very busy.
Nice.
M19 did manage to consolidate.
No!
What has happened?
What happened to Reciprocity? They all died at once.
Where were they?
They were coming out of their compound. They must have get caught in a single vehicle somewhere.
They were down by Red Diamonds, right?
Yeah.
So they must have just got in the car. We saw them kind of
Look
like
at all these
messing around.
corpses. Yeah, there's a burning car right there.
Was
I
it
can
just
see
one car? Oh, Lord above. Everyone's being caught here. This is the deadliest of rotation. Ultra just got found as well, so that's another player going down. I can't believe that. That's a huge loss for one of the, I guess, biggest teams coming into this that everyone expected to be doing so well coming into Erangel.
We'll have to see the replay or something. I can't imagine a single vehicle push or at least a single vehicle rotate this late in the game on Erangel.
You wouldn't think so.
It's a, well, I guess we'll see, or if we're lucky. But if not, we'll have to chat with Scoom to see what happened there. But regardless, Reciprocity is 16th place, and that's that.
That's actually shocking. This is terrifying for them. Toxic, Coastal Play, Team Ready are the ones laying into them right now. That car is smoking.
I think everyone's, including ourselves, are still trying to get used to Erangel. Like we've been playing Miramar for so long.
Jorski, oh no, this is a scary place to be. Gets out of the car and instantly gets drilled by Constantine. Confirmed by XMPL, but Sauna Boys may be looking for any options available, and there just simply wasn't any.
Tixi was in the zone. I'm not sure why they decided to push that compound, but at least as one. I don't know what their choices are, but this is kind of a difficult part of Erangel as well. So this is a lot of open space, a lot of shacks, not a lot of hard cover. QRH has got the best compound, I would say. M19 has the second best compound, but they will have Wanderer taking a shot in the dome from distance. Easy res there, I would assume, unless they're outdoors. But this is looking like an M19. If they can manage this between QRH and M19, they've got probably the best cover with Rise on, or sorry, excuse me, Razor Edge on the western side, eastern side, I should say, on the high ground.
And there we go. Besiktas have had an absolute mare for the last couple of games. Today has not been their day. They've been having a shocking performance.
This is where coaches are so important, I think. That a big part of a big skill, I should say, of a good coach is that just mental reset, which I think Besiktas needs now, is just a mental reset because they just look off.
Yeah, they do. It looks like when you need those times where you just walk away for however long, you come back and you feel fresher because they're just not on. And I mean, we haven't seen them untilt yet.
Right.
That's still it. It's if they can recover, maybe there's still a chance for them down the line. We've seen so many different teams able to perform, but new circle comes in and it's gonna.
Yeah, man,
they're loving it. They are absolutely loving this. They have the best compound in the circle right now.
M19 should be able to translate, like, they won't be super active like they can be, but they're in the low ground. They're not going to have a lot of vision, especially to their south. So now this is going to be a matter of how many teams get eliminated that just M19 can watch die in the kill feed while they maintain one of the best spots in the zone. QRage is in a very similar position. Not sure why they've gone for like this outdoor split. They do have a shack, I think, that they're working with, but QRage is looking pretty good. But this should at least vault M19 easily into the top 10.
Oh, this gets fun for me. Mikas on the way. We've got the Finns trying to fold towards Team Ready. Iroh's going to surely be calling this out. I think he's got decent spots on this, but how much can he do with it? Drufeli's nade goes down. Does it light up the kill feed? It doesn't have to. Mikas is there. 6 Mo falls. And Iroh watches it all unfold in front of him. The rest of the team are pushing this. The other 2 players are off towards the kind of northeast side of this one, and I don't know how well that's going to go for them. G-Power just went down in the blue as well.
Yeah, he's in Yasnaya.
Oh, that's why.
For some reason. I think he's just trying to avoid the boys down south there. It is GS. They're holding on to the southern portion of the zone. There they are. So I think it was just G-Power getting forced into the zone, and he's going to die there. So unfortunate, unforced loss there.
No, they're not having a good time either. We've seen so many of these awkward situations unfolding. It will be a recovery. Drufeli will be picked back up. And we did see, well, I guess we do find out who picked up the ghillie.
It's the sneaky desert ghillie on Squeaky. He's got the 249, I would imagine, as well. And this is looking real good. I mean, it hasn't popped off just yet, but Team Ready making that vehicle push to the center of the zone. There's not a lot to work with in this northern side, and they're going to get punished if they're not careful. Toxic and Accelerate both looking at them.
Good trades coming back in. This should be time now. I'm wondering what Furia does.
Run in.
He's
do
hearing
it.
the sounds, though. He's hearing the steps. Furia! It works out. The
not messing
hipfire.
around. He's not messing around. Nice push. And this is actually Razor Edge. They've come in late. And now they're using this high side flank. I think they're coming down on Accelerate relatively quickly. They have Fast Rail way up front. In the forward position, and this is actually looking really good on this flank for Fast Rail. He's got the support on the high side, and a lot of fire coming on to Accelerate, who's going to have to deal with them very quickly, but this is good for Team Ready, who's just out in the smoke in the open. Not a lot of hard cover there.
No, certainly not. A couple of smokes, just about everything going down right now. You can see it littered around the place. Drufeli trying to stay alive. As everyone's starting to collapse in towards each other, you can see the blue is forcing people forward. The makeshift castle being put up by Iroh and co.
Didn't
3
see
of
him
them
in the
still
smoke.
alive. No, Rust MR does get found, though.
Yeah, Accelerate is getting picked apart. I'd like to see a little bit more aggression from Razor Edge, but they're coming down the hill, maybe just trying to explore their options, not aware of how many is there. Ooh, Iroh's got a line of sight with that mini, long distance, trying to pick apart Razor Edge, who have sneakily, even though they came in super late, found a good position on the northeastern side.
Do they know Chris is there?
Chris is going to have to nail that med and run all the way in. He's got a long distance to travel, though. Not a lot of cover if you get to the U.S. Ooh.
Yeah, done. So, Red Diamonds pushing Chris out. I think Andy was already in. Yeah,
He's
he
in the
went for a
shack.
different route. We are going to be seeing, again, the new circle being a bit of a treacherous run. Wherever this goes, someone is going to be suffering off
East
the back
or
of
west.
it.
Yep.
And here we go. M19 are literally wearing a crown at
Yeah.
the moment. If they do not win this, if they do not come out of this in top 3 position, I'd be very surprised. Chris does eventually go down. Not surprising. He was being shot at from the Red Diamond side behind GS. So that might be a bit of a baffling one for GF. They're going, well, they're not hitting the shots on us. Where are they shooting? But maybe they've worked it out.
Latsare, they're taking some shots at Red Diamonds. They, again, this side of the zone, really difficult. Oh my gosh, so is these vehicle pushes late game. Teeksu and team coming in hard.
God, look at that outfit.
He's very visible.
It's beautiful.
Not blending into anything there.
I love that outfit. It's very nice. This is when knowing the map to the extent these pros do is going to be coming in handy. Any defilade, dip, anything they can use other than on the go. They're trying to get around anywhere they can. You can see him screeching up to the lip of the defilade. Krillian there, getting his way out. And Jotjan, I don't know how to say it because Danish is tough, but they've got a nice 2-2 split here.
Smart play. They've left 2 players up. Ooh, that's Andy going down. I was going to say, Andy, if he can lose some of that heat, he would be all right, but he gets headshot immediately, and it's method down and out. I'm really liking the play of Team Ready. They're moving with cohesion. They're moving their vehicles up. They're using what they can. They've done the same thing with Odense.
But they're pinned. I'm pretty sure fire just came in. I don't know how much they can survive there. Those shots coming in from 2-3 different angles.
They're going to have to blow these vehicles up. That's the long and the short of it. They're going to have to make a hard cover, and this is going to be their last stand here. Razor Edge. They have no zone cover, and they're going to get pushed out. They have just the same issue as Team Ready, is they have a lot of eyes looking their way. But so far, because everyone's on the edges shooting at each other, no one's getting direct pressure to do anything other than just kind of tap, tap, tap away. So Cup of Magic making his first play down the hill. Lots of smokes outs, a lot of utility down for Team Ready. This should buy them some time.
Certainly should do, and it looks like Razor Edge are going to use this as the springboard. It's push time, but they're going to be in the predicament now as well. They're going to have Accelerate, I'm pretty sure, off towards the northern side. They are getting very close here. That nade did come through, but so many eyes across this map now.
It's really difficult because there's a bowl and high sides on every single angle of this map. So really for everyone, it's just a matter of getting through this initial push out the edge of the zone. That should allow a little bit of settlement. But for M19, they are sitting so pretty. This really is their game to lose.
Absolutely is. Smoke walls going up. The nade comes in. Is it close? It is very close. Good. Wanted finding 2 there, and Iroh barely alive.
I mean, Razor Edge is going to do a lot of damage. They're going to do a lot of finishes here, but they're not going to have a lot of options here. And Team Ready is going to go down, but Razor Edge is in no better spot. They're going to try and take that spot over. And that's actually a good play from Razor Edge. It just might buy them some time through the top 10. Yeah,
I was thinking that maybe Accelerate could have been the ones to unfold that because they were up towards north, but there's so little left of what they were. Squeaky is in all kinds of trouble. Please don't look at me, turn around, look anywhere else. M19 bullets coming in, and there he goes. Accelerate Gaming go down in 10th. We've had all the big names struggling again. We had Rec going out in 16th. You could argue that's because of the lack of vehicle, potentially. We still need to know full context. I think that could be the case. You look at Method, Tip to be trying to come into this now. We've seen so many of these teams who are meant to be doing big things struggling here. But who do we have left?
M19, I think they are just atop the leaderboard as far as chances to win right now. Red Diamonds is still 4. And here's M19 taking a couple of shots at Toxic. Oh, baby.
Just one shot.
Just tapped him in the face there. Toxic is stuck on the outside of the zone. We've seen another shift, or at least we haven't seen the next shift yet. About 25 seconds before that begins the next shrink. M19 is just chilling. They're just watching everything happen around them. In the low side, there's nothing you can really see, especially south. Galatasaray getting picked apart one at a time by a Red Diamonds at distance. They have the high ground. This is actually the most Miramar circle you can have on Erangel, where there's just no real cover, not a lot of hard angles to push, and there's one good compound in the zone. So this is a good transition game for those coming off the desert.
You've got to think by now, with these teams in these positions, they've got to run through their utility. I doubt they're going to have many smokes left. So even if you do get towards the end against the likes of M19, you're going to be suffering at the hand of that and suffering at the circle. That goes another team.
Galatasaray getting eliminated. Red Diamonds now taking as many shots as they can at Odense, who have maintained their 2-2 split north-south. Good for positioning, good for placement, not necessarily good for team fights. And here comes more pressure on the Q-Rage. They've got the Shack in play, and not a lot of space for Toxic. They're going to be the next ones out from the looks of it. Help! Wooden Shack, no please! Oh, didn't make it.
At least they died together, which is the main thing. The circle's still closing in, and as you highlighted, options are getting more and more limited. There is not much to go to in this one. Urunsa, I like what they tried to do here. I like what they're doing. We still have a lot of teams with a lot of players alive. 7 teams, 20 players, so you can still see there's a lot here. Forza have a little bit of a snake in the grass. We have Chargers still with a player or 2. And I'm looking at this next circle. If it goes towards M19 here, they're laughing. I think everyone else is still suffering.
It probably centers.
Oh, Ali. Nothing. Sid's got it, and it should center.
It should center here. I mean, the compound likely comes out just because of how close it is to the edge. So M19 hasn't taken a lot of damage. They haven't used a lot of utility. They will be pressing against 2 teams who are now battling it out. Oh, that nade is going to land a little further out, but that's Krillian going down. Razor Edge has been playing really good at clearing teams out, so this should be their game here as well. They've got 5 total kills. They can take this ridge, and there's another team eliminated as Chargers go down. Oden's in a similar position.
If only you could get that angle.
I can see your elbows.
He's going for the car, sod it. You might as well. If I can't shoot under, I'll just shoot through it. 4 teams now remain. That was a big pickup. That jumps him a spot too. And M19 still have some of this compound in.
Razor Edge has now come along the northern side, or at least trying to. They're trying to find their way into the zone. I think they're going to run out of cover, or at least run out of real estate, as Q-Rage is going to push them up on the ridge, trying to defend as best he can. Hello Senpai goes down and out quickly.
He certainly does, but
the rest of Red Diamonds don't seem to care. They're like, yeah, that's fine.
A willing sacrifice. I guess the only time you want that low ground is when you can kind of hide yourself, occlude yourself from the teams uphill, but Yeah, this is scary. As I said, M19 still have a bit of that compound, enough of that wall to play with, so they have a fair amount to play on.
Good map control.
Right, do have great map control. They have the lower side of that hill. This can be spotted out. I don't know how much the Red Diamonds are going to be able to do. They have to be very aggressive. Good tag, though. Force wanted off the angle. They're fighting well, but it feels like a battle for third or second here. As M19, you have to fully get in. There they go. XMPL finally joins in the fight.
They have a great line of sight onto Red Diamonds as they try and get down this hill. Red Diamonds needs to get as close as they can to Razor Edge to try and nade them off this ridge, but they just have too much pressure. It's basically two teams shooting at them because Razor Edge and M19 can't see each other. So it's Red Diamonds just getting the short end of the stick from two separate teams, but Razor Edge not willing to let even Q-Rage get into the zone. This is very difficult and looking really good for Razor Edge.
The nade, though. They found Pin, at least. Red Diamond's going to pretty much be done for. Fast Rail finds Higgy. It's a bit of a back and forth. M19 trying to steal a kill or two. Pin gets found. It's all Sid now left for them. Fast Rail still lighting this up. This is surely going to be down to 3 teams any second now. I don't know how much Q-Rage can hold on. Surely the circle's going to force them forward.
If M19 wants this game, they're going to need to hope that Razor Edge loses a player to either Q-Rage or to the remnants of Red Diamonds, but it's just not looking like that's going to happen.
There come the shots. This is what we're discussing. As soon as they have to move forward, once that circle forces them forward, they make mad leaps towards their doom.
He got 2 of them in the air there. That's insane.
Constantine, exceptional work. 3 teams remain now, and you know exactly where they are. We have a 4v4, and then Sid.
Interested to see how this plays out. I mean, M19 have a lot of experience, but they're pushing. If they can smoke the ridge, and just make it so that they have no line of sight onto them, they might be able to push onto Rye.
This circle works better for Rye, but in theory, M19 should still have their utility. They haven't been forced to use it yet, in theory, unless they get a quick knock with that M24, maybe a mini. This could be Rye's game. They're still worried about Sid, and I like that. They've not forgotten about him.
Like an M19's kill count here. They've quietly amassed a pretty large amount of kills. And that's just due to pure positioning, and that's been a good play. Razor Edge just nade the shack. I'm not sure if they have any utility left, but they want to get Sid out of there and really focus their efforts, because M19 now, if they push up this hill, they might be able to spot a couple of those Rye players. So they got to be careful, because if Rye loses a player here, they will get pushed by M19.
A couple of pot shots coming out from XMPL, buying a couple of time for the other players to move up slightly further. M19 gaining ground, and there's that utility. This is where it comes in. They've got nades, but do they have the smokes? Trying to force these players out. Cup of Magic kept on his toes. You can see the absolute barrage of nades coming in. Maverick spots this out. Call to be made. One more nade in hand for XMPL. That comes through, but not close enough.
Those nades were way too overshot, and now they're going to have to throw smokes to try and block this ridge. There it comes. That's a good play. They need to get these smokes down really quick. This is exactly the play they need to make. Liking this from M19. They need to get a knock, however.
They certainly do. Cup of Magic, Maverick, one of those two is prime targets. Maverick trying to keep control of the extremities. Level 3'd up as well on the head there. That's great news for him. Sid could still be the spoiler, but Maverick goes down. This could be the launch pad.
I like the smoke placement. This is exactly, they're taking the advantage away from Rye, and that's actually a quick down and out. And Elite player is going to, just peek. They're taking it.
Oh, we're down to 2. This is incredible stuff. Somehow Sid has lived. The man who does not fall. He's doing everything he can in this one. He's being a real nuisance player. And M19 they're not in a bad spot. Obviously, they have players alive everywhere. There's a chance for Sid to do dangerous things, but no. He's accepted his fate. Smart. He knew what was going to happen in M19. They had the compound, but they didn't have that final circle, and they fought for that.
You know what? That was a great play by M19, but I have to say, Rye is probably saying to each other, why did we let them push that ridge? Why did we let them push that ridge? They should have at least had one guy, I don't know, maybe watching to see when they come out of the compound. They were so focused on Sid, they left 2 guys super far away on the backside and allowed M19 to walk out, throw a bunch of grenades, and just steamroll them. It was, I don't know if it's a misplay or if it was just bad strategy, but I think Rye had a real clear path to victory there with that hard cover on the ridge, and they just weren't able to capitalize on it.
I don't want to point fingers, but I feel like my mind went from, I liked Maverick's position in the fact that he pushed to watch the extremity in case someone tried to play off the back of those smokes. But then I think he got either overzealous, maybe overplayed it a little, got picked up. Suddenly it's